You're not about to quit because things get hard. You're about to quit because things started to feel real. And you think that the problem is motivation, but it's not. Because the problem is that momentum is very dangerous to someone who cannot trust himself. So last year I had an 20k streaming setup. Some monitors, recordings, mics, PCs, everything you can dream about. And my room was fully set up to stream. And then for some day I decided to sell everything and drove it to someone else's home who was first younger than me, second of all for way cheaper than it was worth. So I helped him set everything up and drove home to an empty desk. And it's not because I ran out of ideas, I had enough ideas, I had enough content planned out. I ran away from the only thing that got me here, because it was becoming real. So right now in 2026, more people than ever are starting something over. And also in the same year, more people than ever are also quitting. Even though, we have all the tools available, we have AI, the barrier to entry is very low, the information is widely spread out, you have free information everywhere. But still, most of the people stop within 90 days. And I was one of them. And here's what I actually found out. So you always know when it's happening. That's why most of the people don't talk about it. And you don't quit suddenly, you quit slowly for 5 or even 6 weeks. And if you would know what to look for, you would see it before it comes. So here are 5 signs. And these are not signs that I researched. These are signs from my own life, because I lived every 5 signs in my own life. So here we go with the first sign. You organize instead of executing something. So you reorganize folders, you try new apps, you build a better system, you write out your scripts even more, and this is the problem, because nothing is even shipped out, nothing is moving, nothing is even produced. And this is the problem, because you tell yourself you're researching, you're organizing, you're building a better start, but this is the problem. You're rehearsing to start, and this is the problem, because most people out there who want to start are scared of starting, because starting would mean they would have to face the publicity, so they would upload something and people would criticize it, and most people are not ready for criticism yet. So they never upload, they never create something, they never ship something out, and they're always researching, reorganizing, and still waiting to start. And let's go with the second side. It's the second type of the first one. You're measuring too early. And what do I mean with that? So let's use YouTube as an example. So in week 1 or even in week 2, you go to your analytics and analyze every video, every metric of your video, how it performed. And as you might know, if you upload on YouTube in the first 1, 2, 3 months or even years, nothing is gonna change. You will get maybe 6 or 7 views. So you automatically check for numbers, check for likes, check for comments, and if you see 6 views, 1 like, and 4 of the views are from yourself, and that 1 like is also you build evidence in your brain, evidence that it's not working out, because you see that numbers, 6 views, 4 are for myself, how is this gonna work out? And you're already in week 2, and the problem is that the numbers don't show up that early. The numbers show up a half of a year later, so 6 months later. And the problem is, if you research and analyze your numbers right at the beginning, without even publishing content, you cannot even build self-trust with yourself, because in your unconscious mind, you see the low numbers and tell yourself, okay, it's not working out. I should stop, or I should get down the power of output I do. So for example, instead of uploading 1 video every week, you upload once a month, and then you wonder why it's not working. So you're not checking the numbers of curiosity, you're checking the numbers for reasons to stop. And you need to stop with that. So if you ever felt like a voice in your head that's saying, maybe this isn't for me, maybe I'm not built for that, then my friend, you're on the right channel. Because on the channel we talk all about these topics. So hit that subscribe button and join the community to never, first of all, miss out any video, and second of all, get informed of everything you do wrong in your own life. So here we go with sign number 3. You talk about it less. So what do I mean with that? When you're excited, you talk about it, you tell your friends, you tell your mother, you tell everyone that one project that you're starting because you're excited, you want to live it out, you want that everyone notice it. But the moment you stop believing in something, the moment you stop doing this stuff, this is the problem, because the moment you stop believing in yourself, you stop thinking that this is possible, you talk less about it. When someone asks you how the business is going, you just say it's good and then go on with a different question. And this is the problem, because your body knows better before your brain does that you're already leaving. So the moment you stop talking less about it, that's the moment you're already with one foot out of the door and you're already about to quit. And here we come with sign number 4. You start to believe your own excuses, even though they are not excuses. So what do I mean with that? By week 4 or week 5, you tell yourself, okay, it's not working out because you saw early on, you don't get that numbers, you don't get that money that you hoped. So for example, we're still on the YouTube example, you saw at week 5, you have only 20 views, for example, and you tell yourself, okay, this is not paying out. Maybe I need to do more research. Maybe the time is not right. Maybe I need better equipment. And that sounds reasonable for you, but these are not excuses. These are just signs that you're about to quit. So these are not excuses like this timing was not right, I need better equipment, I need to research. Forget that. That's not real, because the moment you say something like this, the moment it burns into your mind and it becomes your identity, because you think you cannot make it at that level that you have. And every time you quit something, it's not that you didn't have the best gear, that you didn't have the best ideas, it's your identity. And as I mentioned, if you say that, it burns into your identity, and your identity is always underneath all of that problems. And your identity is the system that everything runs off. So if your identity is programmed wrong, that it's always gonna quit, then every project you do, you're gonna quit. So on a scale of 1 to 10, tell me in the comments how many times you already quitted a project that you thought you would be good in it. Give me that number in the comments and I can go through it and I can help you with that. Because the real reason, as I mentioned, is your identity. And that's the problem we need to talk about. That we come to sign number 5, the last sign. You start to looking out for a sign, for a message from the universe. So what do I mean with that? First of all, you try to look out for a sign from the universe. For example, that the views suddenly from one night to the other spike up at 100,000 views, for example, or a stranger writes in your comments, bro, I believe in you, push, push, push. Or even you try to wait for money to come in from your videos, but nothing will happen because you keep waiting for something that is external of you. Everything that you cannot control is externally. So for example, you wait for numbers to spike, you wait for a stranger online to write in the comments that you need to go further, or you wait even for money to arrive. And these are, as I mentioned, all external positions, and external positions mean that you have problems with your self-trust, with your identity, so you don't trust yourself. And that's why you keep searching for the external parts that give you permission to move on with your project. So the person who needs external validation to continue with a project doesn't have a commitment problem, he has a self-trust problem. And this is the biggest part, because I've reached out to so many people, bro, is this video good? Or even I waited on so many external things to happen before I tackled myself, before I saw what I already do. So the problem is not your external validation, the problem is you, your identity. That's why I talk all about on this channel. So you're not looking for improvement in your life, you're building a case for an exit. And here's why actually. Because somewhere early in your life, you saw that working hard will fail and then it would destroy your identity. And that is the problem, because from early on, you saw that working hard means your identity is broken. And that's the dangerous part. For example, you cannot be the same today as you were 10 years ago. Okay, most of the people are still the same as 10 years ago, but I mean, if you want to succeed in life, if you want to develop your personal life, if you want to just go further in your life, you cannot be the same as you were yesterday. The problem is not that you want to explore new things to go further in life. The problem is that you want to protect your life right now. this version of you who is comfortable. And that's the problem. On the right side, you can see my latest uploaded video, and on the left side is the most suited video for you that YouTube recommends you, because the algorithm never lies. And in the middle, you can subscribe here to never miss out any video and join the community. And as for that, thank you for watching, guys, and I am rooting for you.